Hello, people. This is me, Shashwat Amankar, and you're listening to the Quasi Talks podcast. So, here we start with the very first episode of the Quasi Talks. So, before moving on to the topic, I would like to brief you all listeners about the podcast and what is it all about. So, the podcast will be based upon my life experiences and stories about dealing the negative force. Basically, I feel in a life of a human being, the hardships which he or she faces is no different from other people because it is the way of dealing which makes it different. So, as we see the topic, it's about my transformation. And why do I say it's an epic transformation? It's just because I feel I have grown a lot from what I was before. And trust me, you are the best judge for yourself. And if you have that sense of confidence within yourself, then congratulations, my friend, you have changed for sure. So, if I start with my story, I would begin with by saying that I was quite a good student, kind of a bookworm too, and that particular phase when you are in your 9th and 10th standard, that's like the most disturbing stage. So after that phase, I started to change considerably, and I got into a very bad company of friends. So not in the school, but outside. They never knew what's next for them, and basically they didn't have any aim or goal to attain, right? So even I started being like that, and I enjoyed at the risk of my 10th standard boards because of me being so moody when it comes to studies and trying to skip studies or not to see the books. I was so distracted from the studies that I used to feel that okay, like one read of one particular concept will get me the stuff in my head. But of course I was wrong. So I was never in a mood to study, but as we all do it, that I used to just act in front of my parents just to show them that I'm studying. So this thing continued for a long time, and I finished my high schooling and I enrolled into a college for the commerce stream. So in the college, my experience was weird because the people who know me, then they will know why I'm saying that. But that thing, what happened in my 11th standard, changed me from being a total objectless person to a focused person who now knows what he wants in life and how to move and attain that goal. So getting back to the story, I met a student like my class, and the most brilliant student I've come across. Particular student was top notch, and slowly the change began. That friend of mine used to tell me that you can do much better academics or anything like that, but me on the other side didn't think much about that, and I used to ignore it. But trust me guys, friends play the most crucial role in your life, at least for that particular period of time when you are in your schooling days, your college days. And my suggestion, you have to be very picky when it comes to choosing your friends. You have to stay away from the people who are toxic. My valuable suggestion will be to leave this kind of people, otherwise be ready for the worst nightmare of your life. So getting back to the story, during my 12th standard, that friend continued to be my driving force, and somehow I was pushed back. So now if you ask me, I have the whole blueprint. I can see it in front of my eye. It should be the goal or your career which you're planning right now, which will give you the motivation and get that binding force in you, and also should give you a pinch of realizations. I'm not trying to be a motivational speaker because there are many out there. So this was my story, how I changed and I'm still changing. My urge to the listeners out here is, when life gives you this type of hints to change, do not ignore them, but try to go into the deepness of these thoughts behind and start introspecting yourself. If you feel that you get bored by doing the same thing all over again, just think about your loved ones standing there waiting to see you rise in life. Do it for the ones you want to see happy tomorrow. So on that perfect note, I would like to conclude today's episode. Thanks for being such an awesome listeners, and we will be back with the next episode very soon. Till then, happy listening and think big.